I'm Laura Strombaum, an enrolled agent at All About Numbers here in Stockton, California. Today we're going to do a video tutorial on how to make roughly $125 an hour tax-free, or more appropriately titled, how to properly and accurately value the items that you donate to charity and what documentation is necessary to uphold that amount. Why are we doing this? Because I am repeating myself constantly. Every year I get clients that hand me slips from the donation centers for Goodwill or Salvation Army or the local cancer store, whatever. And on the slip of paper there might be some initials and a date, maybe something that says 1 bag, 2 bags. That's all that's written on it, and they hand it to me. I look at them, I look at the document, I look at the document, I look at them, it's like there's no dollar values here. What am I supposed to be putting on your tax return? What do you want to claim for this? And they look at me like deer in the headlights. I don't know, I don't remember, just give me the standard. There is no standard. The actual amount to put on the tax return is the actual fair market value of the items that were donated. So we go through the educational process of exactly how to keep the records, how to determine the values, and how to support yourself so that in the event that you are audited, you will walk away without owing any additional money to IRS, the Internal Revenue Service. Okay, so the first thing, the most important thing to know is, what does the law say? Because we have to make sure we are staying within the boundaries of the law. So how do we know what the law says? Well, let's ask the IRS. According to Internal Revenue Service publication 526, we are supposed to take as a deduction the value, the fair market value of items that are donated. Fair market value is the price at which property would change hands between a willing buyer and a willing seller, neither having to buy or sell, and both having reasonable knowledge of all the relevant facts. And publication 526 specifically says, in regard to used clothing, the fair market value of used clothing and other personal items is usually far less than the price you paid for them. There are no fixed formulas or methods for finding the value of items of clothing. You should claim as the value the price that buyers of used items actually pay in used clothing, thrift, or consignment shops. So how do you know what that is? You can be a detective. You can go out to various thrift stores and you can say, okay, t-shirts, $2 at this one. All right, I'm going to document that and take a picture. Now I'm going to go to the next one and, ooh, they're charging $2.50. Hey, well, that's a little bit more. Oh my gosh, who wants to do all of that work? I'm going to tell you 4 easy steps that will include getting values for those items relatively painlessly. Step 1, list. We want to document in writing a description of the items that we are donating. Grab a notepad, pen, pencil, and start describing in detail what the items are. You might make it a team effort where you have someone holding things up while you describe what they are, or vice versa. But the point is, you want to make a detailed written description of what each item is. An example of a very detailed description might be this pair of shoes. Women's sandals, size 7.5, tan, wedge, plastic stone decorations across the top. Pretty descriptive, right? You're not going to mistake that in a picture for, say, a pair of black sandals. You could just say, oh yeah, 15 pair of shoes. An IRS auditor is going to go, who has 15 pair of shoes? Okay, I do. Confessions. The reason for the details are going to substantiate that yes, this specific item was donated. So we want to show them beyond a shadow of a doubt that these are the detailed items that we donated. We'll use that list again in step 3. Step 2, photo. Photo documentation. Why? Because as they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Pictures are free, right? Back in the olden days, we used to have to buy film, develop it. That was expensive. Who wants to do that? But now you have your phone. It's got a camera on it. You just snap pictures all along. You only need to print them out in the event that you're audited, so snap happy. The picture is going to support the written description that you gave. You can lay out all the similar items, perhaps all those shoes I was talking about, 15 pair of shoes in one picture. They can go, oh yeah, there's that tan pair, there's the black pair, yep, that matches what that description is. Okay, great, we've got photographic evidence. These things really existed. You really had possession and control of them. That may be good, but it's not great. Why? You could have just taken all the shoes out of your closet, lined them up, took a picture, took one pair down and donated those, but said you did all 15 because you've got a good description of 15 of them. More substantiation would include all the items together in your car, going off to the charity. Perhaps you're at the charity with your bag of stuff that you've already shown. These shoes went into this bag, went into that car, went into that charity, handed to them. There you go. They existed, they're in a bag, they've been taken to the charity, they're gone. Substantiation. Step 2, photograph. Step 3, value. Earlier I said you could play detective to come up with those values, but there's an easier way. Actually, there's lots of easier ways. So for a unique collection of, say, World War II videos, we might go to eBay and type in the actual title of the video and see what comes up, print that screen out, there's our value. Pretty concrete evidence, this is what people pay. But you don't want to do that with multiple pairs of shoes and other kinds of articles. You can use other services. There are software companies such as itsdeductible.com or charityvalues.com, or you can get a book such as this one, Deduct It, Deduct It. This book is going to give you similar information to what the software companies do. However, the software companies don't have the constraints of the cost of print. So they may have thousands of items listed where this book might have hundreds of items listed. However, this will give you lots of good information, and the book comes with a guarantee that if you are audited, they will back you up. Or the cheapest, easiest, freest way is to go to the Goodwill website, Salvation Army website. They all have lists like this where they're going to give you value ranges. From the free way to the software way, there's quite a bit of difference in detail. Here we've got just a few items, not even 100 listed to give us ideas of values. The book is going to give us maybe a few hundred items. The software companies, gosh, they're going to give thousands because they don't have the constraints of print. So those shoes I was describing, let's see what the book says. See, if we were to call those shoes Dress Career Women's, they are somewhere between $5 and $34. Those probably aren't $34 shoes. I don't really know exactly what they are. I think I might have paid $50 for them, so they probably really aren't $34. I'm gonna think that they're probably somewhere around $15. So I can cross-reference another concept. Shoes, sandals or slippers. Slippers, those aren't like slippers. Shoes, women's sandal or slipper, $14 to $4. So on the low end, very close, $4, $5. High end, very different, $34, $14. I think those might be $14 sandals. They're kind of dressy, they're kind of nice, they're actually pretty comfortable. I think I would call those $14 sandals. I've got a value. Now I go through those other 15 shoes I've been talking about, coming up with what their values are, and it's not unlikely that my 15 pair of shoes might total $150. Add in some clothes and a few other things, it's possible I'm going to get to $1,000 worth of items that I just donated. Not bad for a couple of hours worth of work. Now we're up to the fourth and final step, attach. Attach what? The receipt. Get a receipt. You have nothing without the receipt. Get the receipt. Did I say that enough? Did I make it clear enough? Get the receipt. Get that receipt from the organization. Attach it to your list. Print out the pictures if you want, or write down where you have them saved so that if you need them, you've got them. Get a printout from the software, or attach to the book, or attach to the document you printed out from the website that gave you the values. Put it all together, throw it in a drawer. Tax time comes along, you clean out your drawer, and there you go. What have you accomplished? You've now documented and substantiated for IRS purposes everything that you have donated. With my example of the 15 pair of shoes for $150, throw in some clothing and some other things, and I came up to $1,000 pretty easily. At $1,000 tax deduction, at an applicable combined federal and state tax rate of 25%, which for some of you is low, others of you might be a little high, but for most of you it's probably spot on. $250, 2 hours, there's your $125 an hour tax-free. So now you know the 4 easy steps to properly document and value the items that you donate to charity. But because I haven't met with you personally to analyze your specific situation, I am required to read the following. IRS Circular 230 requires me to notify you that any tax advice contained in this communication is not intended to be used and cannot be used by any person for the purpose of avoiding tax penalties that may be imposed under the United States Internal Revenue Code. Thank you very much. My name is Laura Strombaum, Enrolled Agent at All About Numbers in Stockton, California. Hope to see you in a future video tutorial.